This is News 14 Carolina Meteorologist Matthew East, and you have clicked on to the Wednesday edition of the Carolina weather video here for the 25th day of February. A lot to talk about in this edition of the video. Hang with me here. We'll get to the weekend storm system here in just a moment. There is a look at the big picture across the lower 48 this morning. The main feature of note for us over the next day or two is this sprawling area of high pressure that's sitting over the eastern seaboard. That'll be slowly moving eastward, and we're going to get onto the return flow on the back side of that high as we go through the next couple of days. Now, in terms of watches and warnings this morning, very quiet across the southern part of the country, but a fairly significant winter storm moving across the northern plains into the Great Lakes region over the next 36 hours or so. Right now, some snow flying in Wisconsin and Minnesota, but a more significant system will move through that region tomorrow, thus the reason for those winter storm watches. Now, there is actually a little bit of precip showing up on the radar in the Carolinas this morning. Now, most of this is not reaching the ground, but there's the possibility this morning for that a few spots to see a few sprinkles or snowflakes, but just not a big deal. It looks much more impressive on the radar than anything that is actually hitting the ground. All right, temperatures this morning. There's the rough estimation of the freezing line. Didn't draw that well. There you go. There's the rough estimation of the freezing line. Many Piedmont spots were indeed below freezing this morning, and some folks were well down into the 20s again. And let's go to the modeling. This is the 6C run of the GFS. And we'll start at 1 o'clock this afternoon. So there's that area of high pressure. We're on the back side of it with time today, so a south and southwesterly flow settling in. That will push highs up into the 50s this afternoon, and then that southwesterly flow even more established tomorrow. So we'll be up into the lower 60s for highs tomorrow afternoon. All right, here we are now at 7 p.m. Friday evening. There comes our next cold front, low pressure in the New England states, cold front trailing down from that. And it looks like the GFS is finally latching on to the ideas of the other modeling with how things could unfold this weekend. So it looks like we'll see a chance for some rain showers Friday, especially Friday afternoon. And then that front sort of hangs out around the region. This is 7 a.m. Saturday. And the frontal boundary probably somewhere right in this general area is where we'll likely see that stall out according to most modeling. So 7 a.m. Saturday, there's the front, the next area of low pressure developing. This is 7 p.m. Saturday, and the GFS has an area of low pressure not far from Chattanooga. And notice again, there is some sign of cold air damming to the north of that stalled frontal boundary. That is 7 p.m. Tuesday, so the GFS indicating a rainy day on Saturday. And we go to Sunday, and the low begins to develop off the coast, and as some pretty potent upper-level energy moves in behind it, we see a band of snow in parts of Kentucky and Tennessee that then could spread east of the mountains through Virginia and North Carolina later in the day Sunday. Now, again, that's just reading you verbatim what the GFS is saying. Let's compare and contrast here a little bit. All right, this is a look up at 500 millibars of... Let's see, I forget which one I put first here. There we go. Okay, yeah, this is the European. Get my bearings straight here. This is the European up at 500 millibars. The 0 is the European, valid Saturday evening at 7 p.m. So that's how the European looks, and that is the GFS, the 6E GFS for the same time frame. So pretty similar, a little more 500 millibar vorticity there on the GFS, but same general idea in terms of trough and feature placement. All right, so let's go 24 hours later. This is 7 p.m. Sunday. That's the European. That is the GFS. So generally speaking, fairly similar. And the European takes the surface low. This is again 7 p.m. Saturday evening. Takes the surface low from southeastern Georgia to off of the Delmarva Peninsula by Sunday evening. Again, similar to what the GFS is showing. So what I've done with the forecast package this morning is I've mentioned a good chance for some showers entering the picture later Friday, and then it looks like off and on rain Saturday into Saturday night, even into Sunday. And as the system pulls away, we could see that end as a little snow somewhere in the Carolinas. Certainly the mountains, but I mean even east of the mountains, could see that end as a little bit of snow somewhere in the state of North Carolina, and especially up into Virginia. Whether or not that's significant, I don't know yet. But that's the way things are looking this morning. But with these types of systems, a lot of variables in play. and that forecast will have to be adjusted certainly and fine-tuned as we get closer to the weekend. All right, that's it for this latest edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Everyone have a wonderful day today, and God bless.